Welcome back to Sacred Success Salon, where we are speaking to leaders, guest experts about how to lead and thrive as an awakened leader right now with our new earth birthing through us. I am your host, Anna Kowalska, and today it is my joy and delight to welcome our guest, Louise Matson. Welcome, Louise.
Thank you for having me.
So great to have you. Let me just introduce you to our audience. And you guys, there is the longer bio right below the video. You know the drill, but let me just give you a couple words so you know who we are speaking with. Louise is an intuitive conscious channel, conduit for energy healing, shamanic practitioner, catalyst for transformational shifts, and spiritual mentor and guide. She is committed to empowering people to understand who they truly are as sovereign creator beings and realign to their life purpose and true potential, which is the topic of this salon and historically what we always speak about. So Louise, you are in the right place and it's the right time. I love this conversation and I already love it because we started it before I clicked the record button. So would you mind if we bring our audience into where you and I stopped, where I asked you, how did you even get into this work?
So I've been a channel and a conduit for healing my whole life from when I was born. And I chose to shut that down just to fit in because in the 60s when I was born, it wasn't a thing, that people weren't aware of that at all and actually took it really badly when you started kind of bringing through messages or placing your hands on people. And as I said, in a way I shut it down until the point where my dad actually passed over with terminal cancer. However, Spirit had been nudging and guiding me throughout the whole of my life. And we don't really shut our gifts, our talents, who we are in truth down. We mask it, we place lots and lots of layers over it, and we deny it to ourselves and therefore create blocks within ourselves. But there will be random meetings, there will be random occurrences, there will be training that you are guided to do. Yes. And then that was going on my whole life. And I was still doing healing work in fairness. And I was using my gifts to enable me to meet the needs of everybody around me. And that was what I realized when my dad died. I had no idea who I was anymore. Because I'd been using my intuitive gifts to read people and to give them exactly what they wanted me to be. And it was a funny moment when somebody asked me what my name was, and I said, "What do you want it to be?"
Whoa.
Yeah, and I was just like, what? Even inside myself, I was like, wow, oh my God, that is like a step too far.
That is, yeah, go ahead.
That's where I was,
Yeah, that's beautiful. Thank you for sharing so vulnerably because that it really is like the most, I've never heard anybody honor that so deeply, that because so many of us do. I mean, that's the work we're doing, right? We align with purpose, with who you came here to be, who you know you are. But to get to the place where like literally somebody says, "What's your name?" and you automatically say, "What do you want me to be?" We live that way. I know most of us live that way until we don't. But for you to so vulnerably in that moment say, "Wow, I don't even own my own name," that's so amazing. Wow, keep going. I just wanted to like bring it to surface because it's such a descriptive way of showing how deeply we really disown our identity and who we are.
Absolutely. And it wasn't up until that point I'd been doing it relatively subconsciously, consciously, subconsciously.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, that one hit me. It was just like, wow, okay, that's one step too far. So when my dad died, I found myself in this dark night of the soul. I mean, I went into a severe depression. I became extremely ill. I got lots of physical symptoms because remember, if we ignore the nudges and the messages, when they're in the subtle realms, they're going to hit you hard in the physical. And, death and bereavement is one way that spirit guides us back into purpose through death and bereavement of loved ones, family members, things like that, or near-death experiences for ourselves. And I've had both. So when my dad died, I was like plunged into this awareness that the amazingly successful corporate role that I had, the money, the house, the status, the authority, everything that in the 3D world people would be attaining, looking to attain.
Mhm.
It was actually killing me. I was completely miserable because I wasn't able to be my true self. And it was becoming more and more apparent because in staff meetings I was having all of these energy beings coming in going, we need you to tell them this, and I'm like, I can't, I'm a manager in this health service and that's not my role. And it just got to the point where it was physically painful to keep those messages in and not to follow that. So I took a break from work and I stepped out completely. And at that point, when my dad died, I just opened up to spirit and verbally, outwardly verbally said, okay, I'm in, no more hiding, no more pretending, no more denying. I commit to my service work. I commit to who I came here to be. I'm all in, no matter what. Which I will say, I will warn people, is a very powerful, powerful statement to make.
Yeah.
And so when you do something like that, even if it feels 100% right, which it did, you are going to start like that little rock gathering moss into some massive transformational changes in your life. And so allowing yourself just to take breaths when those moments come, and breathe through them and carry on.
Yeah. This is so great. I'm so glad you're talking about this, Louise, because so often, and I've witnessed this, tell me if this is true for you. And I know I've done it for a while too, no matter what, but it better fit my paradigm, right? Like, so be in the space of, yes, no matter what, I'm zero. I love this question that I give this to my clients, 0 to 10, how committed are you to really truly being on purpose? 10, I'm a 10. And then I present them an opportunity and, oh, but not this way. Like, no, it doesn't fit my current situation.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. No,
Right?
and that's one of the things, because I mean, I am so grateful that one of the mantras that I used throughout all of those years was, I am freedom and I am joy.
Oh, so good. Yeah.
And I said that daily and I meant it. I meant it. I am freedom, I am joy. And it's like you're connecting into what it is, the energy that it is to be free and to be joyful, because I was neither of those things. However, again, perfect example of your ego is thinking one thing, or what that means, and what you're calling into being. And the universe is going, okay, your freedom and your joy, and freedom looks like this. And then your ego goes, what? Because freedom can look like a break in your relationship, losing everything, financially plummeting. Freedom is being completely free from any and all attachments, connections, and associations. But what your
Just
ego thinks is, the joyous, the good parts of being
right.
free.
Right. That I can buy
So
whatever
again,
I want, that I can fly wherever I want, right?
I'm free to
Oh.
be completely me, which it also means. But when you put those statements out, words have power. And especially when you're connected in alignment with your truth, and it's like really resonating on a much higher vibrational frequency that you're doing this, you are calling in everything.
I felt that. Yes, everything that will bring you into alignment with your purpose, like it or not, right?
Absolutely. And so all of those people who say, freedom, as long as it looks like this, freedom, as long as I don't have to give that up,
Right.
it's
Right. As long as I don't have to deal with this person, or as long as I don't have to have this conversation, freedom on my terms, right? Which is not freedom at all. Yeah. So amazing. So once you declared, okay, no matter what, I am on this journey, no matter what, then what?
then it was literally just allowing myself to be in the moment without any attachment to any outcome, and allowing myself to be completely guided. So what I tell my clients to do, and it's something that I do because I practice what I teach, is to do a conscious walk. And that's literally having absolutely no agenda. And you leave your house and you check in which way am I going? And every junction you check in,
Mhm.
which way feels right. And you don't have an agenda on how long the walk is,
Mhm.
you know, where you're going to end up, you know, any of it. It's just
Mhm.
literally follow. And that's literally how I led my life since 2017. Every opportunity that came, I would tune in and I would say yes or I would say no.
Yeah.
Even when they were completely random and completely out of character and, you know, nothing like anything that I'd been doing before or
Mhm.
even contemplating. And again, that in itself is how you know that it's divinely guided, because your head wouldn't have come up with it.
Yeah.
And one of those was the Mundane to Magical Summit, because
Mhm.
I hated having my photo taken. I'd literally been denying who I was my whole life. And so to actually go on camera
Mhm.
and to, you know, do all of these things that involved skills that I'd never felt I had,
Yeah.
was like, where did that come from? But again, it's committing without the need to know what the outcome is, acknowledging your fears,
Mhm.
but not stopping yourself from doing it because of them.
Yeah. Oh, this is so good. Because, you know, something that you just said, I'm going to bring it back and see if we can dive deeper into this. Because there is this, no matter how much work people have done that come into my world, they still need a guarantee. Like, I need to know what it's going to work out. And then the next conversation is, I don't have the skills to do the thing that I think I should be doing, right? Meaning it's guided. It's like, okay, do this thing, but I don't feel like I have enough skills. I'm not ready for that, right?
Yeah.
And what I heard you say is, and I'm totally paraphrasing probably, but what I heard you say is trust it anyway. And all of a
Yes.
sudden you will do that, you will do it. Just I found myself in the same place, right? I'm like, I have no idea how to do this. I've never done it before. And I grew up believing, I don't know where I got this, but you are born with a talent, skill, and a know-how, or you don't, or you can't learn it. Like, I don't know where I got it, but I had this fixed way of being. If you don't know how to do it, you won't know how to do it. And I love that you're bringing it forward, because I think a lot of us that are awakening to our gifts and already have known we have gifts and now are being called to switch to some, change how we do it, maybe leave the corporate and create our own work in the world. Or maybe we've had a business in a certain way, but it was still guided towards the 3D needs versus operating from the 5D, right, vision.
Yeah.
All of a sudden we find ourselves, but I don't know how to do it, right? I've never done it before. So great. So how did it open up for you? What allowed you to go there?
Well, again, it started with me getting, I woke up at 4 in the morning and I got the name Mundane to Magical. I had absolutely no idea what it was,
I love it.
but I couldn't get back to sleep until I'd committed to it.
Mm.
So I committed, I said, yes, okay, whatever it is, I'm in, I'll do it. And I scribbled it down on the notepad that I kept by the bed. Over the next 2 months, I then received the further drops on what that actually was.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, I freaked out because my little human self went, being in front of a camera, interviewing people, I've never done any of that. And so then I was guided to connect with this person, that led to the connection to that person, that led to a particular training in how to do summits, that led, you know, and it was just, it snowballs. Because when you do go all in, and when you literally say to your universal self,
Mm-hmm.
yes, then you're going to get the next steps. You are never going to get the whole roadmap. So all of those people that want guarantees, and I get it, our little human self all wants a guarantee,
Yeah.
but you're not going to get it.
Yeah.
There are no guarantees other than you as your universal self is going to provide you with your own perfect journey.
Mm-hmm.
And that perfect journey can look messy, it can look scary, it can look like the whole world's just fallen apart, and it can look blissful and joyful and wonderful and amazing as well, because again, it's a whole thing. You know, we are individuated aspects of the all that is, and the all that is encompasses everything.
Yeah. That's put so well. I love the way you just said it. And it's so clear. It's so clear and so precise. all that is encompasses everything, the things we don't want to experience and the things we do want to experience. So do you find, so you started in 2016, which actually is like a perfect lead up to what happened in 2020, right?
Absolutely. I mean, at the time, I was kind of like, well, I was completely just in the flow and I was just following the guidance. But now that I look back, I realized that all of the guidance, all of the messages, all of the channeling that I did for myself personally, but then I was guided to do the morning musings videos where I would just be inspired to get in front of the camera and just channel stuff. All of that, all of those messages was leading us to this time, you know, because one of the key things that I was given way back in 2016 was all around energy management. It was all around get back to basics, which was literally know thyself.
Yeah.
Know who you are as more than this physical form, as more than the roles that you play, as more than the material goods that you place so much value on. Connect in with the greater truth of who you are as an individuated spark of the all that is, and that you exist through multi-dimensions, all of the dimensions that you could even contemplate, think of, and more. Because, you know, our knowing in our cognitive mind is limited by what we've been taught or what we've experienced. It's connecting in with the knowing, innate knowing, the knowing that you can't validate to anybody else. And it just feels truth. And it's, you know thyself and take responsibility. And that's what a massive, you know, this is all about. 2020, 2021, self-responsibility, self-authority.
Yeah.
You know, not, we have so passively existed in this world. I mean, we talk about, you know, wanting to live on purpose. If you had 50 people in a room and you asked them what their purpose was, they wouldn't have a clue. They wouldn't even know where to start. Because the majority of people, and I include myself in that, as I spent most of my time denying, we've lived passively. We've lived like toddlers, you know, where there's this external authority that is the mother, father figure that, you know, tell me what I should be eating, tell me how I should dress, tell me how I should look, you know, tell me what I should be thinking. Govern me.
Yes.
And this is now we're stepping into this energy of self-governance, self-awareness, self-acknowledgement, and allowing ourselves to be unapologetically who we came here to be. And that is an automatic roadmap to your purpose. Because the minute you let those external validation requirements and external governance fall away, you start connecting into who am I? What do I like? What's important to me? You know, this belief, do I agree with it? Actually, no, I don't. Okay, lovingly let that one go.
Yes.
And so that's how you get to what is my purpose. And in fairness, what I've been shown is everybody who's incarnated here, their purpose is to embody as much of their higher essence as is physically possible in this current vibrational plane. It's our mission. And that's what people kind of say is our purpose, but it's our mission. How does it look when I'm embodying my light? You know, how am I here to assist others to embody their light?
Yeah, so good, Louise. Oh, so much of what you speak just is in such alignment of the way that I've been seeing where we are right now. And I love what you said. I'm going to bring this part forward. We've been living as toddlers. I speak to this maturing, right? And I know I'm not the only one. Clearly, you speak to it too. There is this maturing that we are going through. Like, I don't need external social media or, you know, my friends or my job, right? Or my boss or the government telling me how to live my life, right? I am maturing as a spirit, right? being in this physical body, being sovereign, and that's what sovereignty. And with that comes a responsibility, because all of a sudden, right? All of a sudden, I can't look for answers to anybody else. I must own the answers that are coming up and own the responsibility and own the outcome, whether I like it or not, right? I can't all of a sudden blame, well, government has this, I don't know why I keep talking about government, but that's where we are, right? Government has these rules and I have to follow, and this is what happened, and now my life is screwed, but it's not because of me, it's because of government's rules, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I mean, you know, we can peel it back from government if people are uncomfortable at this time or feel triggered by that concept. But, you know, just looking back on my life, each and every one of the major pain points in my life have been an absolute blessing. And one of the parts of the process of stepping into sovereignty and taking responsibility, and it's not taking responsibility and beating yourself with a stick.
Right.
It's not taking responsibility with judgment. That's very 3D, you know, good, bad, right, wrong. That's all lower vibration. It's just acknowledging you played a role in everything, whether you said something or you didn't say something, you know, whether you acted in this way or you didn't. We all, if we're interacting with another person or with an object or with an energy or an idea, we're in relationship. There's two. There's not just that thing. There's us as well. And it's our ability to own with love the choices that we've made that have led us here.
So good. Yeah.
You know, I mean, one of the biggest things that happened to me was, I call it the universe nudging me. I fell down the stairs, a full flight of stairs, and I was tetraplegic.
Wow.
Thankfully, not for very long. But that was a massive lesson. And that was because I was living so out of alignment. And that gave me the space. So when I say, you know, the universe is going to give us things that the ego considers to be, oh, terrible. But they're there for a reason. If we've ignored the messages as they've come through the subtle aspects, then we're going to get them right in our face, whether it be a bereavement, illness, injury, tragedy of some kind, perceived by the ego. That gave me the space to look. I was in an abusive relationship. I was miserable. I was in a job I hated. You know, I was in a place within myself. All of the interactions that I had with people was not in alignment with my truth. And it gave me the space to kind of look and go, wow, okay, I'm not the victim. I wasn't the victim to this happening or that happening. I was there too. You know, I made a choice. I made a choice to say, sure, you can cross over my boundary. I'll just pull my boundary back. Yep. Oh, you're going to cross over that one. Okay, I'll just pull it a bit closer. You know, I was there as well. And it's a tough one. But when you do it, but you do it from that place of love, that's when you can then look back and go, wow, maybe not pleasant, but it was perfect to get me here where I am now.
Yes. So beautifully said. And I love, this is so great, because world is giving, I believe, universe is giving us more and more opportunities, right? With things falling apart, you know, giving us more and more opportunities to look and see, how did I create this? How is it serving me? How is it moving me forward on the journey of my purpose? Right? And instead of sitting in suffering of, why is this happening to me? Right? Which even people, like, again, this isn't, like, I don't think any of us are immune to it. Even those of us who have done tremendous amount of work on ourselves, have spiritual practice that's, you know, well aligned, we still get in this human conversation of, well, why is this happening to me? Right? Yeah. So good. Oh, Louise, this conversation was just such pure magic. I love the places where you took us, and thank you so much for sharing vulnerably about your journey. And I get a feeling that it served our audience so well to hear every place you took us. So amazing. I know you have a gift for our audience, and we have a button right below this video. Could you tell us what's in the gift?
So when you follow the link, it will take you to a page on my website where there's a channeled guided activation, that is called Release Negativity, Restore Your Divine Harmonic, and Manifest Your Soul's Desire. And that's basically, it's all light encoded, so the recordings are completely channeled by me. And it's really just releasing all of the low vibrational energy in our field that is blocking us from connecting in to our truth, which is from the channel information, the divine harmonic, because we're all individuated.
Yes.
So we've all got our individual
yes.
divine harmonics. My
Yes.
symphony is going to sound slightly different to yours, and that's perfect. We didn't come here to be cookie cutters.
Yes, which is what we've been trying to be, to fit in and be accepted and loved, right? Yeah.
Absolutely. So it's reconnecting you to that energy, that essence, your truth, who you are, so that you can actually manifest your soul's desires. One, because you are now connected to it, and you are now clear, a clear and perfect channel, able to actually receive the inspiration and, you know, to take risks in following it. And it's a journey not to kill the ego off, because like you say, if we're in a human form, we're always going to have the little human self. And it's not a case of shut up, go away, you don't know what you're talking about. It's bringing them along in alignment with your higher selves and moving forward in the direction that all of you is inspiring you to go. So that's the guided visualization. And then I've also thrown in the 4 steps to manifesting your soul's desires into physical reality PDF. And I did a webinar on it a while ago, but this is just the PDF, just basically giving you very, very simple instructions. And there's 4 stages, and it's be clear, be open, be in flow, and be grounded. But it goes into a little bit more about, you know, what that looks like in terms of, because again, you know, I see things on a multidimensional level, so I will get a channeled message through, and it might be clear, but I see all the multidimensional different ways, different transmissions within just that one sentence, be clear. And again, be clear, know thyself, be clear, energetically cleanse your field. Don't be open sponge picking up everybody else's stuff. Otherwise you will only have confusion in your field. And then be clear on what it is that you're calling in, awareness that you're calling in everything. And so if you're guided to say something like I was, I am freedom, I am joy, right, just accept as well that whatever that brings with it, that to the ego may look scary, may look challenging, may look, I didn't sign up to that, that it's also a perfect part of your journey. But the clearer you can get in what you're putting out, the better.
Yeah. Oh, so good. That's really generous. Thank you so much, Louise. So you guys know there is a button below this video, claim the gift, get into Louise's world, get clear. I love it. As we part ways, may you leave us with your vision for the world as we create the next expression of humanity.
So one of the things that got me through my childhood was that I connect with dragon energy, and also that my best friends were the trees. And so my vision as we move into whatever you want to call it, new earth, the next phase or whatever, is everybody recognizing the light that I see in everybody. You know, recognizing that you are a powerful divine creator being, that at your very core, you are pure unconditional love and light. And for everybody to recognize the divinity within themselves, even if they may not be expressing it outwardly, but for them to recognize that spark, that individuated spark within them, that they are more than this physical body, this physical framework, and that they don't need to be governed. They can trust that guidance coming through. Because as more and more of us connect in with that, even just connecting in with you are unconditional love and divine light, it enables the plants, the animals, and everything else that is surrounding us and supporting us throughout this time and has supported us, holding those frequencies. You know, you just need to connect with animals and you feel those frequencies. If you can't feel it in yourself, get out in nature and connect with animals, and you'll feel it. And it will enable that also to shine from its own divine light. And I've seen glimpses of it. And to actually walk in that world, I can't wait.
Oh, and so it is.
And so it is.
Beautiful. Yes, thank you so much, Louise Matson. You've been a gift to the salon. I really appreciate your vulnerability, your clarity, and your wisdom. Thank you, thank you. And you guys claim the gift. Get clarity. I love those first steps, were just so perfect. So claim the gift, get into Louise's world, and we'll see you at the next conversation. Bye for now.
Bye.